Hello everyone. How you all doing today? Hopefully you all doing good. Yeah, cause it's time to read the Course in Miracles lessons. Usually before I go reading the Course in Miracles lessons, the next lesson, so I go to real quick review of the previous lesson. All right. So the word for yesterday was lesson 54. Yeah, the first part of review work review 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 work is I have no neutral thoughts, right? It means that your thoughts are always either positive or negative, right? Either from the ego or from the Holy Spirit, right? From your higher self. All right, the second part of yesterday's review work is I see no neutral things. If I have no neutral thoughts, it means that I see no neutral things, right? Either I am seeing things with the ego or I'm seeing things with the Holy Spirit or through the Holy Spirit's eyes, right? The third part of yesterday's review work is I'm not alone in experiencing the effects of my sin. We're actually connected to other minds, yeah, like-minded people who are thinking the same way, right? I'm not alone in experiencing the effects of my sin. Yeah. And the fourth part of review work of today, of yesterday, is I'm not alone in experiencing the effects of my thoughts. So before it was I'm not alone in experiencing the effects of my sin, and in here I'm not alone in experiencing the effects of my thoughts. Yeah, I'm not alone in experiencing the effects of my thoughts. It means that we share our thoughts, by the way. Yeah, that's why you have no private thoughts, right? Yeah. And the fifth part of the review work for yesterday was like, I am determined to see. I am determined to see. I just let the Holy Spirit's vision come to me. I just let Holy Spirit show me how He sees everything, right? How He sees it through His eyes, so do I, right? All right, so and now it's time for the next lesson. Lesson 55. Lesson 55 says today's review includes the following. The first part. I am determined to see things differently. I just want to remind that in one review lesson, we're gonna review 5 previous lessons, right? It's the first part. I am determined to see things differently. It's like I'm letting the higher power in me, yeah, taking place in my mind, right? I'm letting Holy Spirit's vision, yeah, show me how He sees it, yeah. All right, so again, I'm determined to see things differently. What I see now are but signs of disease. Wow, disaster and death. That's correct. That's right. This cannot be what God created for His beloved Son. I was always questioning, the religious, like, how can God, the loving God, can punish you? Or even if He is doing from love, how can He do that? How can He make people suffer, right? So yeah, how can there be a lot of disasters, death, diseases, right? Yeah. So I was always questioning that. This cannot be what God created for His beloved Son, because God did not create all of these things, right? It's ego did. The very fact that I see such things is proof that I do not understand God. That's right. I do not understand God. Therefore, I also do not understand His Son. Right. What I see tells me that I do not know who I am. I am determined to see the witnesses to the truth in me. In me. I am determined to see the witnesses to the truth in me, rather than those which show me an illusion of myself. It's a powerful one. I am determined to see the witnesses to the truth in me, rather than those which show me an illusion of myself. Alright. The second part of review work for today is that what I see is a form of vengeance. Right. The world I see is hardly the representation of love and thoughts. It's hardly the representation of love and thoughts. Right. It is a picture of attack on everything by everything. Right. Yeah. It is anything but a reflection of the love of God. Right. And the love of His Son. It is my own attack thoughts that give rise to this picture. Yeah, there is no one to blame for all of your fails, right? All of your results you are having, right? There is no one to blame, even you. I mean, you don't have to blame yourself, right? You just realize that you are the source. It's different, between blaming yourself, right? Like, oh my goodness, what did I do with my thoughts? You can feel this fear, like, oh my goodness, what did I do with my thoughts? It's me who created all of these wars in this world with my own thoughts. It's terrible to realize. I mean, you don't have to blame yourself for nothing. It's not your fault. I mean, you take responsibility. You take the situation in your hands, right? You start running this world. Yeah, because you're not the victim of this world, right? And it's different, between blaming yourself, yeah, accusing yourself, and taking responsibility, taking this will you can rule with, right, in your hands. Not even in your hands, but you let Holy Spirit to take a driving seat, right? Yeah. Realizing that actually you are the source of everything. Right. Okay, so it is a picture of attack on everything by everything. It is anything but a reflection of the love of God and the love of His Son. It is my own attack thoughts that give rise to this picture. My love and thoughts will save me from this perception of the world and give me the peace God intended me to have. Right. My love and thoughts. So what I do, I just let all of the unloving thoughts go, right? And I let Holy Spirit and my high self loving thoughts to replace that unloving thoughts, right? That's what I'm doing. All right. All right. The third part of review work for today is I can escape from this world by giving up attack thoughts. I'm just giving them up. Yeah. I'm no longer choosing them to think. You know, you have a choice to make, right? You know, you can choose your thoughts, right? You know, you can choose whom you are thinking with. It's great news, huh? Isn't it? Alright, I can escape from this world by giving up attack thoughts. Herein lies salvation and nowhere else. Without attack thoughts, I could not see a world of attack. If I have no attack thoughts, I cannot see the world being attacking, right? Whew. As forgiveness allows love to return to my awareness. Once more time. As forgiveness allows love to return to my awareness, I will see a world of peace and safety and joy. Right. Forgiveness is the key. Not forgiveness on destroy, right? From the ego. You know what? Alright, you did me wrong. I'm gonna forgive you. But I still gonna remember what you did to me, right? Because it's ego who is trying to forgive. Right. But forgiveness, like real forgiveness, right? When you remember that you were the source, you are seeing just a reflection of your inner thoughts, right? You are seeing actually projections from your unconscious guilt. Yeah? When you realize that, the moment when you do, so that's forgiveness moment. Yeah? And forgiveness allows love to return to my awareness. I will see a world of peace and safety and joy. Forgiveness is the key. And it is this I choose to see in place of what I look on now. You always have choices. You always have choice to make. You always do. Right. Believe me. We always make choices. Either we are going to follow ego or our higher self power, higher self voice, right? We always have choice to make, right? Yeah, we always do. All right. The fourth part is I do not perceive my own best interests. Yeah. How could I recognize my own best interests when I do not know who I am? What I think are my best interests would merely bind me closer to the world of illusions. I'm willing to follow the guide God has given me to find out what my own best interests are, recognizing that I cannot perceive them by myself. Again, Igor cannot recreate something different, right? It can only create what it was already before. Yeah, that's why ego cannot forgive itself. Yeah, you can only ask for Holy Spirit's help. Yeah, help you forgive. I'm willing to follow the guide God has given me to find out what my own best interests are, recognizing that I cannot perceive them by myself. You let Holy Spirit be in charge, right? Alright, and the last part of review work for today, the fifth part actually, is I do not know what anything is for. I do not know what anything is for. I don't know. You just recognize that. You know what? I don't know what anything is for. I have no idea. To me, the purpose of everything is to prove that my illusions about myself are real. We are proving it to ourselves. It is for this purpose that I attempt to use everyone and everything. It is for this that I believe the world is for. Therefore, I do not recognize its real purpose. The purpose I have given the world has led to a frightening picture of it. The purpose I have given the world has led to a frightening picture of it. Let me open my mind to the world's real purpose by withdrawing the one I have given it and learning the truth about it. Right. Can you imagine yourself if you remember that there is nothing to fear? It doesn't mean you're gonna do something like what can unalive you or something, right? Or unalive someone else. It's not about that. It's about that you just don't feel the constant fear, right? You don't feel anxious. You actually feel better. You actually feel fantastic because you remember that this world is just an illusion, right? And every moment, every time, every single day, you make this choice to follow the Holy Spirit, right? You make this choice to see through the Holy Spirit's eyes. To see that actually if you made up all these terrible illusions, it means that you actually can create something better with the Holy Spirit's help, right? With His love and thoughts, right? So yeah, it's like, it's a good news, huh? It's a good news. Realizing that it's not so hopeless, right? There is hope, there is love. You just ask Holy Spirit to help you to see through His eyes, right? You ask Holy Spirit to be in charge, right? And I'm actually grateful that Holy Spirit can think love and thoughts with me, right? It feels great. It feels great. And yeah, it's not a good feeling to think with the ego, you know? Ego is not going to be your friend, by the way, right? It seems like it wants to be your friend, right? But it's not, right? The thing the ego is doing is like to destroy you, right? To ruin everything and to continue their reincarnation cycle, right? But yeah, the moment you choose to think with the Holy Spirit, right? The moment when you choose that, you know what? I am tired of seeing all these terrible things, you know? I'm gonna give it a try to think with the Holy Spirit, right? To think with Him love and thoughts. Yeah, and you just realize that, you know what? Yeah, I cannot replace my unloving thoughts with loving thoughts, but Holy Spirit can. Holy Spirit can, you know? And every time you just give it a try, you give Him this permission, you give Him your willingness to try, yeah, to see things differently. Alright, that's the word for today. Again, thank you for watching if you're watching these videos. And yeah, have a great day ahead of you and see you tomorrow.